before I start this video, I do just want to say my camera, I'm learning how to use it still. It's my dad's camera and he's never really used it for videos before, so he doesn't have many tips for me. I've been trying to like figure the camera out, doing some research, but honestly is this even focused? I hope it is. I can't figure out how to get the camera because currently it's on autofocus. I can't figure out, you can turn it to manual focus but it genuinely will not focus on anything, so I don't know how to work that properly. So you are going to hear the camera lens like readjusting when I show you things, like, and I'm trying to get it to focus on this, you'll hear that, and I do apologize, but I don't know how to fix it, and I would rather film a video in focus than film a blurry video, because there's nothing worse than trying to watch something and it's blurry. Like, I don't know why that annoys me so much. So anyway, let's jump right on in. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to be filming a mid-year wrap-up, book tag, whatever. I feel like people call them multiple different things, but based off of what Larry reads, everyone knows her, she I think called it a mid-year book tag, and so that's what I'm going to call it because I literally got this inspiration from her. I know so many YouTubers do this, but I saw her post her what do you call it, I saw her post hers literally right here, and you will see that it's going to be so overexposed, but I saw her post hers literally 11 days ago. Yeah, it's still overexposed, whatever, and got the inspiration. I was like, I want to film that. So yes, anyway, I'm going to be filming my mid-year book tag. I don't know why I just went on the world's longest rant just to explain that. So let's literally just jump right in, because if not I'll be here all year yapping. I'm going to be looking at my phone a lot because I've got all of the questions on here, and then I've got all the books on my bed next to me, so I'll either be looking at my phone or at my bed quite a bit, and I do apologise. But anyway, starting off, what is, or the best book I've read so far in 2026. That is literally so hard because I'm not gonna lie, you guys, this year's reading year has been so good. I think the lowest book, or the lowest rating I gave a book, was either 3 or 3.5 stars. The rest have all been 4.5 to 5-star rates. Like, genuinely, I don't think there's been a single 4-star rate. I think it's all been 4.5 and above, which is insane. I feel like this year has been the best reading year. It's been the slowest reading year because of everything going on in my personal life. Let's just say, being a nursing student, you don't get a lot of spare time, and when you have that spare time and you have a bunch of health issues, you either spend it at the doctor's, at the hospital, or asleep. So that has been my year, but I have tried to pick up as many books as I can when I can. So I wish I could do what Larry does and only mention a book once, but there's too many questions and not enough books. So anyway, let's actually start this. Let's shut up and let's get into it. The best books I've read, I couldn't choose between these two, and I'll explain kind of why in a minute, but these are the two best books I've read this year. The first one being Beartown by Fredrik Backman. I read this whole series this year, so far this year. Like, I've never done that before. I know it's only a trilogy, but it normally takes me forever to get through series. There are series on my shelves that I literally started back when I started my reading journey, 2020, 2021, I don't know, somewhere around then, and I've still not finished them because I don't know why. I just have to take forever to read a series. This series, these 3 books, I read all. The last one I read last month, I think. Oh no, it's June still. I read it in June. It's like the end of June when I'm filming this. This won't be going up till like middle-ish of July, I think. I'm pre-filming this because I've got placement next week and I need a video to go up while I'm on placement. So I think, oh no, it'll be like the start of June. I don't know. It's like the last 2 days of July. No, I've been saying June. It's the last few days of June. I meant to say July before. Whatever. You get the point. Anyway, literally obsessed with this series, so good. And then this book I've already shown, basically flashed it. It is Broken Country by Claire Leslie Hall. I read this and I knew a lot of people loved it, but I was like, I feel like it will be a good time, but it won't be anything crazy memorable. Tell me why I think about this book every single day. And part of me wants to say this is the best book I've read in 2026, because since I read it in May, I think about it all the time. But then also this series I think about almost on the daily as well, so that's why I kind of selected these both. I think they're very like similar, very different in a way, and like they're very different. They're both like kind of more just like general fiction, contemporary fiction if you want. But yeah, these are like my top 2 books so far this year. But with that being said, I've also read so many 5 stars, but like these 2 are the kind of the books that I've not been able to stop thinking about, so that's why I kind of chose those. Next is best sequel I've read so far in 2026, and again I could pick up Beartown and the trilogy, but I was like, let's change it up a bit, let's not do that. And I've honestly got 2 books here for this answer. The first one being Magnolia Parks, The Long Way Home. I read Magnolia Parks and Daisy Hates both last year, I want to say. Loved them. This is the 3rd book in the series, and I had to pick it up. I couldn't not. And I know it's like sequel to me is like the 2nd book in a series, but I guess there's one 2nd book in a series that I picked up, but like they didn't compare to this book or the next one I'm going to show you. And as for Beartown, the 2nd book in that series wasn't my favourite out of the series, that's why I didn't pick that. But then the other 2 series I'm thinking of that I picked up the 2nd book in, they just didn't compare to this or the next book I'm about to show you. So I know, like, in my mind at least, a sequel is the 2nd book. I don't know why, that's just how I think of it, but these aren't the 2nd book in a series, but they're still part of the series, so I kind of am adapting it to my own kind of what I can do best. I don't know. The next book I have is Saving Six by Chloe Walsh. We all know and love the Boys of Tommen series. I read Binding 13 and Redeeming 13 last year. Of course I loved them. Who wouldn't? I picked this up at the start of this year. These books, it takes me a while to go between books and pick a new one up because they're so emotional. They're so, like, they take a lot out of you that I feel like you need the break to pick up a fun, lighthearted, fluffy book in between. But yeah, these are the 2 kind of best books that are continuations on series. I don't know, that's not the words I want, but you get what I mean. Next is a new release I haven't read yet but really want to, and I was like, oh, what new releases have come out this year? And I honestly don't think I've read too many new releases this year, but I was kind of thinking, and then all of a sudden it hit me. I don't own the book physically, but I was like, Just Friends by Hayley Pham. As soon as I found out she was writing a book, I was like, I need to read that book. I love Hayley Pham. She's one of my favourite YouTubers. I've literally followed her since since she started her channel. Like, I've watched her for a good maybe 10 years or however long she's had her YouTube channel for. And yeah, I absolutely love her. So when I found out she was bringing out a book, I was like, literally have to support her and read it. Tell me why it came out in like March and I still haven't even brought the book. Like, that should be illegal. So yeah, I think that's a new release that's come out this year that I haven't read, that I need to read by the end of this year, and it's on my like mental TBR now to buy that book. The 4th question is most anticipated release for the second half of the year, and I've really not been like paying attention to books that are going to come out this year. Like, I've been really slack. Last year I was on top of it. I knew at least what month books were coming out in. I knew like roughly what weeks, depending what the books were, stuff like that. I was real good last year. And then this year, I'm not gonna lie, with I think mainly just uni, I've really slept off in paying attention to those kind of things because my mind is elsewhere. I'm too busy with studying to like even think that new books are being released. Like, I don't know. So I've been really bad, but I was looking through Goodreads and yeah, I don't know where else I looked. I feel like I looked somewhere else. Anyway, I was looking on Goodreads and I found out, well no, I knew, but I saw that the unselected journals of Emma Emmeline, I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, is coming out soon. And I know I've seen so many people talk about that series recently. I know Rachel Catherine has been obsessed with that series, and I trust anything Rachel Catherine talks about, especially book related, because I love everything about that human being. And I feel like she has impeccable reading taste. So I feel like that one was the one that jumped out to me the most when I was scrolling through. There's other ones I'm like, oh that's cool, that's coming out, but I've not even read the series yet, and I know it's like a series I want to start or I want to read eventually, but like I've not even read the other books in that series to be excited for. Another one is actually though Heartstopper. Is it the 7th one that's coming out? I don't know. Whatever the new Heartstopper is, I am excited for that as well. Although I do have to say, I feel like the older I'm getting, the more cringy I'm finding that series. So that's why I didn't really write it down, because it's not really my cup of tea anymore. And I have no problem with it being I have no problem with it being others. It's just literally just, I don't know. But I am still excited to read it, see what it's about, that kind of thing. Anyway, biggest disappointment this year. I don't know why I'm holding my phone like this. It would have to be The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. I don't own the book physically, but back in like, when did it come out? 2024, 2023? 2024, when the Raw book came out. I read this. I absolutely loved every minute of this book. I think it was like very close to a 5-star, if not a 5-star. And I was like, I need to read more of her books. So I read When in Rome because I know that series is so popular and it's so loved. And guys, I'm sorry, I didn't love When in Rome either. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great. It wasn't, this book, I don't know, something about this book I loved so much in the moment when I read it. Maybe I'd think differently of it now, but I loved it when I read it. And then, yeah, this year I was like, let's pick up another one of Sarah Adams' books. And I was like, how about I pick up the one that's like part of this series, like the interconnected standalone, The Cheat Sheet. And I picked it up and I really was so disappointed. It just, I don't know if maybe Sarah Adams isn't for me or what. Maybe those books are just not some of her best and I need to keep reading, and maybe if I continue reading the When in Rome series it might get better and I may love it more. But The Cheat Sheet was so disappointing to me. Okay. Biggest surprise. I think it would have to be this book, only because I've tried to pick it up before I started reading it and I DNF'd it, like soft DNF'd it, obviously, because I picked it up again. But out of all of them, like, I'm like, this has got to be the one, because the rest of the books that I've basically read this year are all part of series that I love. So it's like, no duh, like, it's not a surprise that I loved that one as much as I loved the others. Where this one, I've tried to pick up multiple times, to be honest, and I continually put it down. I don't know why. I think I'm just not in the mood for a romance. It is a romance when I go to pick it up. Although I do read primarily romance, I still just think I have to be in the mood to read a romance when I picked them up. So that book is Flawless by Elsie Silver. Now don't get me wrong, I know this is a much loved series and this was an incredible book, but I think because I DNF'd it so many times, I was surprised when I picked it up and I was like, dang, I should have just kept reading, pushed through, and I would have loved it. But I also do, like I said, I 100% think I just wasn't in the right frame of mind when I was picking these books up, and I was in slumps and stuff like that, so it just wasn't working out in that sense. When now, like, I picked it up at the perfect time, I was in the mood and I loved it. Anyway, next is my favourite new author, and I think I've got to choose Fredrik Backman. I've read all 3 of the Beartown trilogy by him this year, and I loved every moment of being in this world, and I do need to pick up 10 more of his books. Like, I literally need to read all his books now. The rest of the authors, or the rest of the books I've read this year, have basically all been authors that I've picked up from before. There's only one other series that I started this year that I've never read from this author before, and I did also love that as well. But I think that's definitely my favourite new author, or new favourite author, whatever. Next is newest fictional crush, and to be honest, I don't really like have crushes on fictional characters, so like I can't necessarily fully answer this question at all. But if I were to choose like a male character that I absolutely loved, I would have to choose, that ain't the right one, John Logan from The Mistake by Elle Kennedy. Now I do think he is a perfect human being. Perfect's a bit of a stretch. I do think he's an incredible human being, but I think it's just like the reason why I chose this was his story, everything about him. I literally could read 500 pages more on his story. Like, I just loved every minute of hearing about his story from his childhood to the present time. It was literally so good, and that's like literally the only reason why I picked it. I know, guys, I don't know, I'm just someone that, like, I don't really have, like, I know people can watch TV shows and be like, oh my gosh, I'm in love with this person, like, blah blah blah. Same with books. I'm just not that kind of person. I'm so sorry about that. Even with like celebrity crushes, sorry guys, I don't really have one. Like, I don't know, I don't do that kind of thing. Anyway, my question 9 is my newest favourite character, and again, like, I genuinely just think it's John Logan from The Mistake. If not, then Maya from Beartown. I think she is an incredible human being. She's so strong, especially with everything that she went through. Can I speak today? No. Especially with everything that she went through. I feel like she's just an amazing human being. So those are kind of those 2 answers. A book that made me cry. To be honest, I've never cried reading a book before, but this book / this series has brought me close to tears every time, and that is not the right book. Guys, I saw a purple book. That is Saving Six by Chloe Walsh, and I'm currently reading Redeeming Six, and I feel the exact, honestly this one's more emotional than this one to me. But yeah, okay. Book that made me happy. Again, I don't own this book, but I loved this book so much, and honestly it shocked me and it made me, I was just so giddy and loved every moment of reading it, and that was Mile High by Liz Tom 40. I was shocked. Like, that I could honestly have added for biggest surprise as well, because I feel like so many people don't love that series or don't love the first like book, or there's books in the series and I feel like it's typically the first book that people say they don't like, but I loved the first book. I liked it more than the second. Sorry, not sorry. Anyway, favourite adaptation I've seen this year, and I think just like everyone else, I do have the first book, but we'll pick it up, I guess. Off Campus by Elle Kennedy. I didn't read this one this year, read these two, but this TV show adaptation was so damn good. I loved every minute of it. I rewatched it straight after watching it the first time, like genuinely episode 8 ended, went back to episode 1, watched it again all the way through, and I did that about 3 times. I loved that series so much. I do have to say I did really enjoy Every Year After, but I did enjoy it. I didn't really enjoy it. I did enjoy it, but I feel like I preferred the book. That might be crazy to say, but I definitely preferred the book. It was still an alright series, but I feel like I felt more lost watching the show than I did reading the book. Like at points in the show I was just like, what? Like, what's going on kind of thing. Like I genuinely felt so lost watching the show, even though I'd read the book. I don't know. Anyway, most memorable book this year, and I think I've got to choose Broken Country by Claire Leslie Hall, because like I said, read this in May, haven't been able to stop thinking about it since. Where like a lot of the other books, don't get me wrong, like the Boys of Tommen series, for an example, I absolutely adore that series, but this has just taken over my life recently, so I think that's the most appropriate answer. And the last question I'm going to answer today is, what book do I need to read before the end of this year? So, of course I put these books the furthest away. Obviously I would love to read Just Friends by Hayley Pham, but I already used that book in an answer, and I have so many books on my shelves that I need to read. But the ones that I chose that are not part of series that I'm already in the middle of, that I would love to finish, well I guess one of them kind of is, but there's a lot of like the Boys of Tommen series, Magnolia Parks, I would love to finish this year. Those are the main two that I'd love to finish this year, but I've talked about them so much, so I was trying to choose books that I haven't spoken about at all yet. The first one is This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. I've read Meet by the Lake and Every Summer After, adored both of those. So I just know that everyone loved this book even more than those two, so I need to read this. I just didn't pick it up during the summertime, and I need to read this during the summertime. So that is a goal, to read in December, or like as the weather gets warmer towards the end of this year. I need to pick this book up and read it. And the other one is The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J Maas. I need to start at least one of her series, and part of me wants to start ACOTAR first because it's just shorter, like there's less books in the series, but I feel like I just need to start with this series. I don't know why, but just something about this series, the Throne of Glass series, I need to start with this one, and I need to read this one. So those are those two. So those are the two books that I think I need to read by the end of this year. There are definitely other books on my shelves that I would absolutely love to get to this year, but they're not like needs like those two. Watch me read, oh, can I speak right now? Watch me read neither two of those before the end of this year. But anyway, that is the end of my mid-year book tag. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye friends!